Hi everyone, Anchita this side. Welcome back to ABAutomationHub and welcome back to the Python for Beginners series. This is lecture 4 and today we are going to learn one of the most important concepts in Python. So if you have ever worked with text, name or even email addresses, that means you have already dealt with the strings. So let's understand how Python handles them. So a string is simply a sequence of characters. Now let's go to our code editor and let's see the different ways how we can create a string in Python. So let's create a new file over here and let's name it as strings.py. We have three ways to create a string. First way is using the single quote. For example, we have a variable named Anchita. Okay, this is our first way. Now let's see the second way. Second way is using double quotes. This is a variable which contains a string hello world. So this is also correct. This is also correct. By using both the ways, you can create a string in Python. Now, let's see the third way, which is using this triple quotes. For example, this is our third way. These are the different ways to create a string in Python. Let's print all the string and let's see the output. So print name. By using the print function, we are going to print. Let's run it. So you see over here, first one is Anchita, second is hello world, and third is this is a multi-line string. So three ways to create a string are these. So all three are valid, but the third one is good in case you want to create a multi-line string. So you can use this way. Now let's talk about how we can access the characters inside a string. So Python lets us access all these characters which are inside the string using an index. And the index starts from 0. For example, we have a word Python. Okay, this is a string. Now in case I want to access P over here, this one. So how we can access that? You can access using the index. So for that, what we will do, we will use the print function and then we will call the variable which is word, and inside this I will pass my index. So index starts from 0 and then it goes on like that. So in case I have to get the character P, then I will use word and with the index 0. Now let's run this one. This is printing my first character. This is the concept of indexing in Python. So here the index starts from 0. This is very important thing to note. It starts from 0, not from 1. And we can fetch the value, but we can't update it. What does that mean? You can write like this, but you can't write, for example, this one. This is not allowed in Python. You can't update it. You can fetch the value. Here we are fetching it, but here we are assigning the value. This is not allowed in Python. So if we run this one, we will get an error. See, you are getting an error. It does not support item assignment. Now let's take one more example. Let's say we have a string. The value is ABAutomationHub. Here, let's say I want to print this A. So here what I will do, what index I will pass, like I said, it starts from 0, 0, 1, and space is considered as one index. So this is 2 and then this is 3. So it will be 3, not 2. So space or any special character that is also considered as an index in string. So here in order to print A, I will write my index as 3. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. So let's just comment this one and now let's run this case. You see A is getting printed. But what if I pass 2 over here? This is space. In this case, you see, it is just printing the space. There's nothing, no value over here. So this is how you can access the characters in Python. In Python, there is one more concept which is not there in other languages. There's a concept of using the negative indexing. So let's write over here. This is a negative indexing. So when we talk about indexing, it starts from left to right. And it starts from 0. 0 and left to right. It starts from right to left. And here the index starts from -1. Now let's see the example for this one. For example, here, if I have to print n, so what I can do, I can also use the concept of negative indexing and I can pass -1. So when I will do -1, it will print n over here. Fine. Now let's print. So if you see, this is printing n. So this is also one of the concepts which is not there in other languages, but only in Python. It is the concept of negative indexing. For example, in case you have to print T over here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So minus 4 would be the correct index. So let's print this one. So print, if we do minus 4, it will print T. So let's run this case. And you see, T is getting printed. Fine. Let's also see one example for this one, this big string, which is AB Automation Hub. Here, in case you want to print this n, so what will happen? 1, 2, 3, fourth is your space, and then fifth. At fifth index, the character n is there. So let's print this one. So print. So we will do print str, your string name, and then inside that you are passing the index value. So if we run this, so here you see n is getting printed. So this is the concept of negative indexing in Python. Now let's understand the other concept, which is slicing. Means to extract some part of the string. So let's write over here, extract some part of the string. Fine. So what does it mean? For example, we have a string automation. Okay. And in this string, if I want to extract some part, for example, if I want to extract from here till here, so what I will do, I can use the concept of slicing. So what is the syntax of this one? So in this case, the syntax would be your string, and here starting index, colon, ending index. But here the ending index will not be included. For example, in this case, if I have to print till AUTOM, fine. So if I have to pass my index, I have to pass +1. Okay, let's see the example for this one. We are saying print. So I have to print from A. So 0, index is 0, and I have to print till M. Fine. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So M is 4. In case I want to print till 4, so I have to write over here 5. Why? Because ending index is not included. So it always prints -1. So this is print. So if we run this one, what will happen? It will return us AUTOM. Now let's run this one. You see, this is AUTOM. So always make sure the last index value is correct. Other thing over here is, in case you're not passing the starting index, it will always start from the start. For example, let's see. I'm not passing anything here. So I'm just saying till 2. So in this case, what will happen? It will start from 0. AU. Why? Because it will say 0 and 1. Like I said, this index is not included. So if we run this one, it will print A and U. Now, in case you're not passing the last index also, in that case, what happens? It prints all the way to the end. For example, print from 3 onwards. In this case, what will happen? So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it will print from O and it will print till end, which is MATION. So if I run this one, this is getting printed. Now let's see one more example. So print. So in this case, I'm not passing my starting index as well as the ending index. In this case, what will happen? It will print the whole string over here. Fine. Now let's run this one. You see, this is printing the whole string. Now let's see the negative indexing concept also in case of slicing. As we have learned, negative indexing starts from the right to left. For example, here you want to print TIO. So the T is at which index? -1, -2, -3, and -4. So we are saying -4 over here. And we have to print till O. So let's write over here. We have to print from T. T is at which position? T is at -4 position, which we have passed. Now this is -3 and this is -2. In case you have to print last index also, you have to do +1. Here, if we do +1, it will be -1. So if we want to print till O, we have to pass -1. Now if we run this one, you see, this is our TIO. This is very simple. You just have to take care of the indexing value over here. So this is about slicing in Python. Now let's see the other topic, which is about the string methods. So in Python, we have a lot of inbuilt string methods, and now we are going to see some of the most used ones. So the first one is .lower. So what does it do? It converts your string to a lowercase. For example, we have a message string. Hello, Python learners. Now, in case we want to convert it to a lowercase, for that we will use message dot lower. So this will convert your string into the lowercase. So let's print this one. Let's pass this inside the print function. Now let's run this. So you see, this is converting it to the lowercase. So we had this H in caps, P in caps, right? And L in caps. Here it is converted to the lowercase. So this is our first string method. Now let's see the other string method. Second one is similar to lower, we also have dot upper. Here upper converts into the uppercase. Now let's see the same example. So let's write over here print function, and inside that message dot upper. So what it will do? It will convert it into the uppercase. Let's run this case. So you see, this is all uppercase. This was all lowercase earlier, but now it's all uppercase. Now let's see the third case, which is dot ends with. So in this, what happened? In this, it will return you true if the string ends with that substring. So here you have to pass the substring inside this. In this case, if you are using dot ends with a substring, so in that case, if you try to run it, it will return either true or false. For example, let's pass message dot ends with ERS and exclamation. Right. If we run this one, it will print us true. But in case if we are not passing exclamation over here, and now if we run this one, you see it is printing false. So it exactly checks for that substring. Like I explained earlier, even if it is space or it is exclamation, it is also considered as a string. So make sure you pass the exact string. Now the other one is dot replace. This is oftenly used. In this case, what you have to do, you have to pass your old value and then you have to pass the new. It takes two parameters. So in this case, it replaces all the occurrences of old with the new one. It does not only check the first one, but it checks all the occurrences and it replaces that. Now let's see the example for this one. So print message dot replace. Now here, let's replace Python with code. So instead of hello Python learners, we want hello code learners. So let's write over here, what is the old value? Old value is Python. Comma, what is your new value? We want it to be replaced with code. So this is what we want. So now here it will print us hello, comma, code learners. So let's run this case. You see, it is printing hello, code learners in the output. Now replacing a whole word. But in case you want to replace only single character, that is also possible. For example, you want to replace wherever O is used, replace it with I. In that case, what we will do, we will write over here message dot replace my old character. I want to replace O with I. So I will write over here O and then I will say I. So in this case, what will happen? In this case, it will replace all the occurrences. So wherever O is coming, here O is coming, it will be HELLI, and here O is coming, so it will be THIN. So now let's run this one. Let's see. So let me show you the terminal. So here you see, it is replacing all the occurrences of O. This is also one of the examples for replace. Now let's see one more method over here, dot find. It finds the first occurrence of the specified value. For example, here message dot find. So what is our message? This is our message. Take the occurrence of E. We have E in hello world. We have E in learners also. So if we write over here E, it will return us the first occurrence. Now let's print this one. So here you see, it is returning you the index of first occurrence. Here the first occurrence is at index 1. Now if you want to say L, L is at which index? L is at index 2. So if we write over here L, and if we run it, you see, this is 2. It will only print the first occurrence. Now let's see one last example. We also have one very important method, which is to find the length of the string. For that, we use len function. It returns the length of the string. Now, in order to get the length of the string, what you have to do, you have to pass your string name inside the len function. Now, let's print this one and let's run it. The length of the string is 23. So here the length of the string is 23 inclusive of the characters and the space. So like this, we have many inbuilt string methods. You can also see it like this. If you just do dot, you see there are number of inbuilt Python string methods. But what we learned today are the most used ones. Now moving on to the next concept, which is the string concatenation. So string concatenation means adding two strings together. And for this, we use the plus over here. For example, we have a variable in which we are creating a string over here. Python is, and here we are saying awesome language. So here we want to add both the strings. So what we will do, we will create a new variable and we will assign over here x plus y. So now if we print this one, print third variable, which is z, if we print this one, it will print Python is awesome language. Python is awesome language. Here it is not printing space because there is no space between these two. In case you want space, what we can do, we can just add a space over here and let's run it again. Now you see Python is awesome language. Let's take one more example. So first AB automation, and we have one more string. We are creating one more string and let's pass hub over here. Now I want to concatenate both of these. So what I will do, I will add it in the print function directly. So I will say first plus second. Now if we run this one, it will print AB space automation space hub. So you see, this is AB automation hub. Now let's say there is no space over here and I want to add space. So what we can do, we can also add the space manually here. So what we can do, we can say after first, we can say plus. So like this, you can add the space. So if we run it again, you can see AB automation hub, though there is no space, but we have added the space manually here. So this is how you can add space in case you want to add space also using the concatenation concept. Now, there is one more concept which is string repetition. So string, so what does it mean? In case you want to repeat a string multiple times, that is also possible. In Python, in case you want to do that, that is possible using the symbol asterisk. For example, I want to print hub 2 times. So what I will do, so let's say print, this is my string, second. Now I want to print hub 2 times. So what I will do, I will say hub asterisk 2. So what it will do, it will print hub without any space. So let's run this case. You see, this is getting printed twice. So this is all about strings in Python. Now let's quickly recap what we learned. So we learned what is string, how to create a string in different ways, how to access the string, how to slice the string, and some useful string methods. And we also learned one more important concept about we cannot update a string. String in Pythons are immutable. That means you cannot change them directly. But you can create a new string. Fine, we have seen the example. If I show you again, you see this one, this example, we were not able to change it. So it will always return an error. Why? Because string in Python are immutable. You cannot change them directly. You can create a new string, but you cannot change the existing one. Now let me share some practice questions with you. Try this practice question by watching the video. So these are some practice questions which you can try, and I've also mentioned some hint over here. You can try this at your own and let me know your solutions in the comment box. So yeah, this is all for today's video. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching AB Automation Hub.